Coach Cronin, we've got Jaime Jaquez, Tyger Campbell will be joining us shortly. Coach will let you have an opening statement, and then we'll open it up for questions.
Defensively, I thought this is as good as we played in a while, especially in the first half. Obviously, I got tremendous respect for Coach Enfield and their program. They've had an unbelievable year. Their projected seed is ridiculously low. That's typical of the West Coast bias. So I wish them all the best next week. Hopefully we can all do what we did last year. But our guys, like I said, our defensive effort was tremendous. We got multiple contributions on offense. We only got 46 attempts when we got to the foul line. So most we've been to the foul line in a long time tonight. So attacking the basket pretty well. So I thought the key to the game was our first half defense. We could have had a chance to get away from them by halftime, but Jules and Tiger's foul trouble stopped that.
Okay, if you have any questions, please raise your hand.
With Tyger and Jaime, where do you see the way you guys were playing last year at the end translating to where you guys are now? Are there things that you're replicating now that you were doing last year, or things you want to replicate?
I mean, I have to think of it like this. You try to play that way all the time. So whether it's last year, this year, or even 3 years ago, you try to replicate the same way. You try to play, and that's play perfect. You know, not make as many mistakes as the other team, and just keep going and try to, make right decisions and smart plays.
I'd say we knew when we went on our run last year, we really locked in on the defensive side of the ball. So, Coach preaches defense, defense, defense. So, we try to lock in this year again.
Coach, last week against USC.
See the tie again, Sam.
I know it's a new one.
Very impressive. You see him dressing up this year?
I'd say
He's starting to step it up.
Talking at the end of the last SC game, being kind of disappointed with the way things closed out down the stretch, and obviously 20-point game turns to a 10-point game last night, but tonight kind of holds steady in the last few minutes. How did that feel, kind of improving how you guys closed out on both ends of the floor?
Well, a lot of that is, the line. We were able to play the guys we wanted to play. Last night, they're pressing Russell, as you know. But at the end of the day, like we said, at halftime, if they don't get to 60, they're not going to be able to catch us. So, defense, like Tiger says, the thing about it is you get to March, you can't rely on shooting to win. There's going to be a game or two where you're probably going to have to score a lot of points to win. But you can control your effort, and if you defend, you always got a chance. So on a rough night, offensively, you still got a chance. So just happy with the way we defended, even down the stretch.
For the players, you guys have won 8 of 9 now. What's been kind of the key to locking in? Obviously, defensively, you've been very solid. What's kind of gone into that? What do you guys think has led to this nice run you've had?
Being healthy.
Yeah. Being healthy, I think, is one for sure. Like I said earlier, I don't think we had one game during the regular season where we had everyone 100% healthy. And now that we do, I mean, it's great. We got a lot of guys in rotation that can step up and make plays defensively and offensively. And I think just, watching film, being very attentive, following scouting report and things like that. So I think those all go into why we've been so successful defensively.
Coach, pretty big impact, a couple of games for Peyton Watson in 12 minutes and 8 minutes tonight. What do you think's gone into things kind of clicking a little bit more for him here?
Well, I think, his defense always helps us. His rebounding, his length, but it was good for him. I was happy to see him get a shot to go down. Jaime threw him a great pass. He made a nice cut off the ball and got it to go down. But the thing about Peyton is, he has kept his head down and just kept working all year. That's what I'm most proud of. So, I would tell you, Tiger, these guys, they all know, the expectations. They didn't have to deal with what he's had to deal with. So they feel, they're with him. I mean, he's their guy. They love him. He's on their team, so that they get it. So, when he plays well, these guys are the happiest because they see every day in practice the guy's got an unbelievable attitude. He's just a young kid that didn't play his senior year in high school because of COVID. And needs to get stronger. And best basketball is probably when he's 23 and his body looks a lot different. So unlike me, he's gonna get better with age. Right, Tiger? Tiger's like me. That's his problem. He's not gonna fill out anymore. Other than his hair.
For Tiger and Jaime, I know you guys have bigger aspirations, but to beat your rival twice in a week, how excited are you for that? How good does that feel?
You know, we're just worried about tomorrow. Get a win tomorrow, come out, give it all we have, and yeah, we're not really worried about it.
It's the first time that UCLA has been to the Pac-12 championship game since 2014. Obviously, first time since you guys have been here. How does it feel knowing that this is a different stage, a big stage that you guys are going to be playing on tomorrow?
It's a great opportunity for our team, really give us a good test for where we are proceeding into March. And it's going to be a fun experience. It's what we all work for, try to get that trophy and cut the nets down. So we're all excited, we're all ready to go.
Jaime, you were matched up with Isaiah Mobley a lot tonight. What were you looking to do and take away from him on the defensive end?
I was trying to take away his right hand. I know he likes to get there in the post, get to the left shoulder, right hand hook. So I was really trying to take that away from him. And you know, he's a really great player. I've been playing against him since we were kids, been on the same team. I've known him forever. So it was just another great battle I had with him, and he's a great player. So just trying to take away his right hand.
Any other questions?
You may have talked about this a couple times the last few days, but with Johnny, how do you keep making sure that confidence stays there?
Yeah, I told you
Shooting's not there.
at halftime. I worry at times about especially Johnny. With so much all the draft speculation. I'm a big believer in mental state, and you worry. What I had a kid go through it at Cincinnati. People started talking about the draft, and I may be wrong, but I know if I was him, and that was maybe a possibility, how much pressure you can put on yourself. And pressure is a good thing. You embrace, just try to win. But if you're stressing out about that type of stuff, and that's in your mind while you're trying to shoot the ball, that's a recipe for disaster. So, I worry about that for him. So I was really happy to see him get some shots to the rim. And I ran a couple ISOs for him, when we were up 10. After he made a couple shots, I thought he could score, get fouled. Because we got to get him going if we're going to do what he came back to school to do, right? I mean, he can't just be a non-factor for us. So I just don't want him stressing about it. Just got to give your best effort, man. But that's easier. It's easy for me to say. I got a nicer house. For these guys, it's easy for me to say, hey, man, just keep doing your best. Don't worry about your future. When you got my contract. So, but you got to try to relieve that stress for them sometime.
You guys, obviously last year in the bubble and everything, had the thing after every win, you'd slap the name up on the bracket. You're doing a little bit of that now here as you're leaving the court with the fans cheering you on now. You had Russell do it tonight. How fun was that? Just obviously a little similar to last year, but different in some ways too.
It's a little different. The bracket's a little smaller, but seeing Russ just run down and everybody surrounding him, just smacking on the board. It's a good feeling. Obviously, it's a good feeling to win, but just see all of us rally around each other, stay together. So is my brothers, so it's always good.
Sam's got hair like Russ. They're related. Oh yeah, you can't tell. Look at them. They both got all that hair. Red Pitt. Ridiculous.
Any other questions?
Before I go, I'll just say, like you guys you were talking about rivalry, and you say, like, we don't have animosity. We just don't. These guys, like Tiger doesn't, but like, 3 years ago, Andy Enfield's a great guy. I know Eric Mosley, Jay on their staff, used to work with Coach Palmer, Chris Capper. They're great guys, man. So it's nice to be in a healthy rivalry, because it should be about basketball. But you see these guys before the clock hits 0, just tremendous respect for each other. So it's good for our game that you can have a rivalry like that, and it can be about basketball, and not about hatred and stuff like that. So wish them all the best next week. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Coach.